true love knots, steer away from attracting the wrong people in life and save yourself from being fallen out of love. Dysfunctional Detoxing with Maria Romano.
So a couple of things. I hope you all had a great Easter weekend. It was a big wedding weekend here in Las Vegas. As you know, I'm a wedding officiant, which I love. I love what I do, and I love when my couples say I do. So I'm a little tired, but hey, that's okay. But tonight there's an important topic I want to share with you because I have many clients that come to me on the dating side and what their frustrations, and maybe this is you, where they keep attracting the wrong individual and they don't understand. Have you had that happen to you? Have you had that happen to you? So let's say, for example, you were married to somebody and you were attracted to them because you thought that they had some great worth ethics, right? They were just dedicated to their position. And you got married, and then of course, or you lived together, whatever the case might be. Then after a while, you got a little resentful because work came first, right? So whatever happened, you parted ways, you went out again and you attracted somebody else, the same thing. Or let's get a little deeper. Let's get more raw. You met somebody that was always the life of the party. You like that. When you started settling down with him or her, they were always the life of the party, right? So maybe they drank too much. Maybe they took, drugs, whatever the case might be. You divorced, you parted ways. Now you're out there in the dating world and you attract somebody else who has the same traits, right? Has this happened to you? It's happened to many, many of my clients. And this is something that if you do not want to attract the same type of individual that didn't serve you, because that's why you're no longer with them, right? It didn't work out, is you really need to start peeling back the layers as to why. Now, there's some great books about attachment theory and things like that you can, read about. There's like 4 different attachment theories, and it does go back. It does stem from your childhood. That I will say. Sometimes the type of person that you are attracting is because of something that was lacking in your childhood. I know that I came from divorced parents. My dad left at an early age. And I do recall, I used to like older men when I was younger. Now I like younger men, but we've all been there, right? No, but because I was probably looking for that father figure, right? Somebody that was going to take care of me, right? And that's really not what I want today. And being in health, I want a healthy relationship the same way I want you to be in a healthy relationship. I had a client, and she was married for like 25 plus years. She divorced because her husband drank quite a bit and also had a pill problem. But then when she got back in the dating world, she started dating people that had the same type of problem. And she kept scratching her head like, what is wrong? What is wrong? And I have had a couple of men, the same exact thing. So what it is you really need to dig deep and recognize, are you the type of person that maybe you are an enabler? You allow people to have their vices and you shrug it off and think that they're going to change, right? Or maybe you think because you're getting older that you're not going to find anybody better. Wrong. That's not true. Okay. Now's the time where you should really find the perfect person for you. But part of this is what I have in my book, Going from Just One to a Plus One. You've all seen, I know once a week we put it out there on Facebook. Very easy read, just so that you know. But there is a chapter, and I also have this available to my clients because I do work with them as dysfunctional detoxing. And this comes about because we are a product of our past relationships. And we are wearing those residuals. Believe it or not, they're on us emotionally, baggage. Maybe physically, maybe we've gotten too thin, maybe we've gotten too heavy, right? We do have a lot of residuals from our past relationships. And moving forward, especially when you're getting out there, because now we're all starting to get back out there in the dating world. Many of us are getting our shots. We feel more comfortable getting out there again. And you really need to go through this sort of process. And it's a very simple process to go through, but it does entail, it's not something that happens overnight. And you need to look at your past relationships. And especially if you keep attracting the same type of individual. So write down your past relationships, okay, whatever they were, and write down what attracted you to each individual. From there, then write down what you didn't like about that individual after you were in the relationship for a while. Be very, very honest. Okay, maybe you were dating him or her. That's what's great about dating, by not rushing. Listen to me, do not rush. Do not rush. But when you go through this dysfunctional detoxing, so you write down your past relationships, you write down what attracted you to that person, you write down after a while what you didn't like, okay? And also take a look at the red flags that were staring right at you in your face. They were there all along, okay? And then after that, take a look, step back, and think about what you could have done differently in the relationship. And again, maybe it was avoiding the red flags and maybe not staying in the relationship. But the last component, this last component is very important. Okay, the last component is very, very important. I'm going to share that with you in just a couple of minutes because I want to go back to a couple of my clients. So I have a client, okay, and I have to change her name for the sake, I don't want to rat her out. Her name is Anna. And Anna has a beautiful daughter who's in her 30s. And she started a relationship sort of with somebody. And she doesn't see him that often. Okay. And she keeps going back to him. And she says, I know he must have another life, right? The red flag was staring right at her. The red flag was there all along. When we sat down and we talked about this dysfunctional detoxing, and then she looked at her history where she was always attracting somebody where they were never too committed. They're almost non-committal. And that was because she didn't have the security in her relationship with her family. And that bridged over into her adult life. And she realized that she was attracting the type of men that had their foot half in and half out. Okay. So these are patterns. And these are patterns when you think about all of your past relationships that you've had, right? That you've had these red flags staring right at you, right at us. I've done it myself too, let me tell you. But if you keep attracting the wrong individual, that's when you need to take a look and take a deep breath. That's where you need to maybe look at your profile, if you have a profile that you have on the different dating sites. Okay, maybe you're attracting someone that wants to be taken care of, especially if you're a man. Let me tell you something, guys. When you show pictures of all your toys, the only people that care about your toys are the other guys, all right? So if you're looking to meet an individual, a woman of high value, high quality, pictures of yourself, current pictures, talk about what you're looking to do in life, what you enjoy, not what you don't like, okay? Same thing for women. I tell women all the time, go back and look at your profile, look to see what you're writing. I had a client that right away, she had written on her profile, I don't want any losers, drug addicts, or alcoholics. What's going on there? Or I don't want anybody that has drama in my life. Right there says it all. So look at your profile too. And the last thing, as I promised you in the end, is the one thing that's very, very important when I talk about the quadrants of dysfunctional detoxing, right? I talk about you need to write down the relationship you had, all of the relationships you had, and what attracted you to that individual. and then write down what you disliked. Okay. And then write down the red flags that were staring you right in the face. But the last component is a very important component. Take a step back, okay? Evaluate where you're at in life and look at all those past relationships on what you could have done differently. Because maybe not all of them were the same. Maybe there were people in your life that you met that really were going to be great for you, but you walked away. Or again, those red flags were staring you right out in the face. And that's part of dysfunctional detoxing. Now, I have a whole course where I spend time with clients as we unpeel. As I say, we're peeling back the layers of the onion because, you know, an onion makes you cry. And sometimes this is not an easy process. But you need to really dig deep and understand why you keep attracting that wrong person. And as soon as you do, don't just say to yourself, this is the only type of person that I'm going to be attracting. Stop right there. Remember, you are the prize. There is nobody like you. Okay? And there are 7 billion people on this planet, and there is somebody for you. So don't just settle. And don't just wait until you think you look perfect, right? Or you're in the best possible shape. Somebody's going to love you for you. Remember that. You want somebody to love you for you. So if you keep attracting the wrong individual, take a step back and start putting everything into perspective, understand it. And when you approach the dating process, recognize the signs, recognize the red flags. And I always say, listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. That is the best thing. So in the meantime, continue to stay healthy, happy, and safe, and enjoy the dating process. Like, that is just key. And if you like this, let me know. Definitely, please let me know if you like this. And I'm going to be enrolling my new membership program for people that are dating. You know, I've been speaking to lots and lots of people, and I heard you. You want to be involved in a membership because a membership is more affordable today for everybody's pocketbooks. So I'm getting ready to roll that out soon. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about dating, anything you want to talk about, message me on Facebook, email me, maria@trueloveknots.com, KNOTS. So remember, continue to stay healthy, stay safe, and always spread love. I love you all. Good night.